What are some street smarts everyone should know? Lock your doors as soon as you're in your car. If someone asks your shoe size, start walking lol. If there is one house that looks occupied on a mostly empty street with burnt down houses, that's a trap house. Before using any ATM, tug hard on the plastic card reader. Scammers often put a fake one on top that steals your info. I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood in Chicago, and probably the best thing you should do when walking by yourself at night is pay attention to every car. Usually they'll drive past you and scope you out. If you look like a target, you'll see that car again. Or they'll meet you farther down your path while you're walking past an alley. Always be ready for something when walking past an alley and stay close to the houses. That way, if anything's suspicious, you can run into a backyard. One, situational awareness would probably be the biggest thing I'd stress to people. These days everyone's so buried in their phones. They don't pay attention. 2, walk with a purpose. Act like you belong and you're 100% in charge of your shit. This combined with 1 will probably keep you out of trouble 99% of the time. 3, if you can, control the situation. Your gut instincts are often right. And when they're telling you to leave, you should. Sometimes people prevent that from happening. But as a general rule, I try to control the situation by leaving. I'll try again and again. Don't ever tell the cab driver you don't know where you're going. Is that stranger being overly nice to you? Are you on the sidewalk? Are you alone? The reason it feels like something is wrong is because something is wrong. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. When walking in an unfamiliar city or trail, look back regularly. It will help you to remember landmarks that will guide you back home. If you are in any sort of confrontation and someone balls their fist and looks away for a second, or even just looks away for a second, you should be prepared for the possibility of a sucker punch. Wear shoes you can run the fuck away in. Be aware of your surroundings and trust your gut. Women should not be afraid to appear rude. The book, Gift of Fear, has lots of great info. Nobody approaches you on the street because they want to do something for you. It's always because they want something from you. If a group of people suddenly get down, so do you. Just because someone is friendly with you doesn't mean they have a good heart. Edit. You shouldn't have wasted your rewards on this comment. I plan to delete my account soon. You won't get mugged if you look like you're going to mug someone. Street smarts to give your kids. If you get lost, find the closest adult with kids. I saw this in action once at Disneyland when a 4-year-old kid approached me and my kiddos while we were eating. She joined us very calmly, introduced herself, and said her parents gave her the above advice. I heard her parents shouting her name not long after, and the relief on their faces was a sight. Do not trust taxi drivers if you are a tourist. If you're ever locked up and some of the guys are playing cards and you happen to see a card fell into one of their laps, don't try and be helpful and point out that they dropped a card. Always know where the exits are in any place that you enter so that you don't get lost in an emergency. Also, never place yourself in a hole in public where there is only one entrance and exit and no other people around. These are often crime hotspots. Never do drugs in situations you don't know about. Could be someone spikes it, takes advantage by robbing, rape, kidnapping, whatever it is. Always be paying attention. Edit. Misspelled word. Edit 2. Everyone's talking about the drugging, which is good awareness, and it's sad to hear so many stories. I just wanted to emphasize the always be paying attention part too. Don't let anything take your attention away when you're in a new, potentially dangerous situation. I should have elaborated more on that too. You might be correct when you have the right of way, but you're still the one that's going to be dead when you get whacked by the car if you're walking or on your bike. When it comes to knife fights, the loser dies in the street, the winner dies in the hospital. If you're going to be away on holiday or somewhere you're unfamiliar with for any length of time, it's a good idea to try to always make sure that someone knows roughly where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing on a given day. Even if you're like me and you don't like to plan out a full itinerary, a rough indication of what your plans might be can help work out your movements if ever there is an issue. Every answer on the street in a not-so-nice area is no. Hey, can I have a cigarette? No. Hey, you got the time? No. Hey, can I borrow your phone to make a call? No. Stick up men wanna see your hands. If they can see your hands, they know you don't have a weapon and will be easier to rob. Pay attention when you cross the street on foot. No matter who has the right of way, the vehicle will destroy you. Lightly or heavily. Thanks. This reminds me of a comedian who was saying the best way to stay safe in a rough neighborhood is to fake a Russian accent cause Russians are terrifying. Be aware of surroundings. Look like you belong either through body language, attire, or occupation, without being oblivious to things around you. The moment you look lost, out of place, or unsure is the moment you can look like a good target. If someone is looking at you with an expression questioning why you are there, be prepared to answer it with confidence and give an answer they would accept. Or be prepared to leave before they can ask. If you're driving and hit black ice, just take foot off gas but don't brake until the slide stops. Never flash your whole wad of cash in a public place while paying for something. Keep a few bucks loose in one pocket for spending. Keep the majority of your cash in a separate pocket. Don't open a wallet full of all your money where other people can see you. Muggers and criminals often work in groups or pairs with one person trying to distract you. Edited to add. I think people tend to know this as it applies to being a tourist, but they forget it when traveling domestically or in their own city. Someone asking you for directions could have a partner in a car around the corner or across the street. Seen it and experienced it many times. Adults do not ask children for help. Utilized a retail store's big reusable bag to hide an expensive purse when walking at a sketchy section in the city. Walk fast and look pissed off. Always ask for only one scoop of ice cream first because they make single scoops bigger. Then act like you changed your mind and ask for a second scoop. They will be pressured to match the size of the first scoop, providing you with a massive amount of ice cream. Only break one law at a time. Accept solicitation of prostitution and illegal drug use. They're the PB&J of crimes. If somebody asks you your name, have a fake generic name and use it all the time. Mike, Dave, and John will do. For most people, just keeping your head on a swivel and being aware of what's around you would be a big help. Put your phone in your freaking pocket. Source. Grew up in the hood. Edit. You, specific fail said look like you belong and I agree 100%. Walk around your car before you get into it. Keep your head up and be alert. Or at least look alert. FFS. Turn off your car and take the keys with you when you stop at a store or gas station. If you bring a weapon out in a fight, it can be used against you. In the fight and legally. If you're in a big city that you're not from and someone sketchy asks you if you're from there, say yes. You should always be afraid of secondary locations.